Hey, welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
And our drinks this week, as we usually have, we're going through the Patron bottle as much as
rocking
possible.
the big-ass bottle of tequila again.
We're about, what, halfway, maybe a little less than half?
I'd say half.
Halfway through this giant bottle. You'll start noticing some of the decor in the back keeps on switching up here and there. We're getting to the better time of the year.
Spooky season!
Oh, yes. So we had to, Jess and I drove out to a Cracker Barrel in Victorville for this real quick on the way. Because why not?
Spooky season.
Spooky season.
Why not? That's the reason.
We'll go right on top of that. There we go.
Yeah, me, I'm already starting to collect spooky memes and pass them out like so much trick-or-treat candy. I'm all excited for the... Like, we got fucking Scare LA in 2 weeks.
I know. On the 25th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's going to be fun. Going through and checking all that out. It's still blazing hot, sadly.
We're also in California where, you know, when it's hot, everything's on fire.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's just not hyperbole.
Especially outside right now because we live relatively close to one of the bigger fires.
Mm-hmm.
The holy fires, they're calling it. There's one down
It's
there.
been cleansing. Good.
Cleanse. Yeah, so I got out of work today, and you can see the giant cloud of smoke over everything. Turned everything orange for a bit.
With the exception, which I noticed, those like office buildings that have those like silver, like those reflective windows, those turn like a bluish teal color.
Yeah.
Which I thought was badass.
It was. Everything else around it turned orange, though. It was a nice contrast on it.
I know.
And we get home, and there's ash on the ground. I'm like,
Anywho,
yeah. Anyways.
World's on fire.
Yes, it is.
Let's jump into newsy type stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about movies, movie trailers for starters, real quick, like we normally do. With the conversation started, let's start with the new Venom trailer. I guess they call it trailer 3. Did they really count that really?
Because there was the teaser, which was the first one,
which had zero look
it had
Venom
no Venom
whatsoever.
Then there was the actual trailer.
Yeah.
And I think this was the international trailer. So that's just kind of like, look, America, you got your own because your own shit.
Right.
And the movie comes out in October, so we're probably due for one more trailer.
And then it comes out.
And then we're done.
Which I'm good with.
Yeah.
I'm still
hopeful. We still basically know nothing about the movie.
I'm
except
perfectly
Venom,
happy with that.
Which is the way it should be.
Yes. Give me some clips on it. Give me some really cool action set pieces. Give me...
Which is what we've gotten.
Yeah. Fantastic. There's like some brief glimpses of, you know, Eddie Brock dealing with the symbiote, which you also mentioned in this third trailer. They never mentioned symbiote, which was a big issue.
Yeah, sorry, they mentioned symbiote.
Once. And in passing. In the second trailer, they said that 4 or 5 times, something like that.
Yeah, because, well, Jenny Slate's character says it a bunch.
Yeah. It's a symbiote, and it does this, and the symbiote...
Well, dude, we even mentioned it in a previous episode. Even Marvel Comics came out, and they're like, this is how you pronounce it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sony keeps on thinking they have rights to do pretty much whatever they want, and they really don't.
Like I said, I'm excited for the movie. I think the only thing they fucked up so far is by not having Spidey first.
To actually have the reason for this iconic style.
The giant white spider.
Right. No, that makes sense. I can see where that's at. There's always the rumor, will he show up at the end? Will he not? We won't get into that part at this moment. I did find...
So you're saying it's not Khan?
It's totally not Khan. It's John Hammond. God, I couldn't believe that crap. But anyways.
Wait, no, that's not right. Because isn't John Hammond the name of the dude from Jurassic Park?
No, John Hammond's also the name.
It doesn't sound right. I mean, I'll have to fact check that later.
We'll fact check it later and post it up on there.
I'm pretty sure John Hammond is the guy who owns Jurassic Park.
Yes.
So I don't think that was the alternate name for Khan.
Whatever. John something.
C. Riley.
You can look up on there. I did find it interesting that Sony is trying to make this movie PG-13.
That's right. They were trying to camp that now.
And now all of a sudden it's like, are you really trying to get this to be part of the actual MCU? Because I thought you were going to go off and do your own thing. I guess they wanted to turn around and make this a hopeful entry into the MCU. But then again, Sony also turned around and said in a recent interview that they have the movie rights, to over 900 Marvel characters.
Yeah, but again, that's probably like bullshit. That you could.
Oh yeah, it's total marketing PR bullshit.
Because you know the MCU gives a shit about Betty Brant.
They're gonna take a single character or a single series,
or
and
Tombstone.
every single minor character that shows up in it.
Yeah, remember how fucking excited they got? Like, we're gonna make a Black Cat and Silver Sable movie. No one asked for that.
Yeah.
Knock it off. Stop it.
To which recently they came out and said, "Oh, there was gonna be a team up movie with those two. We're actually gonna stop that. We're gonna actually have their own individual movie." I'm like, no, it doesn't work. Like, okay.
That's not why we were mad. We weren't mad because you were giving us a twofer. We were mad because we were getting it at all.
The problem is though. Here's the thing. We'll go down this thought process for a quick moment.
Okay.
Say Venom comes out.
Okay.
And it's really good.
Okay.
And they by somehow put it into the MCU itself. Where does Sony go from here? Where do they think they can go? Because at this point, if they do well and then it becomes, oh yeah, this is actually part of the MCU, then all of a sudden, all those other side characters that they have access to are all going to have to be part of this,
That's fine.
the MCU.
Keep pumping them out if it's good.
But that's the thing, though. I worry that they have really good ones, and then they'll come out and they'll do Warner Brothers.
Have you watched Cloak and Dagger?
I haven't watched Cloak and
How
Dagger
much
yet.
of Runaways have you watched?
The entire first season.
And?
I actually enjoyed it.
I thought it was
You didn't like it too much? I thought it was good for what it was.
What it was. All right, Captain Optimism. That's not exactly the biggest selling point for you.
You're saying I'm Captain Optimism like it's a bad thing. You know me. How often do I just turn around and say something that's just god awful and it should never be watched?
Almost never.
Exactly.
Captain Optimism. You need to be honest. Some stuff is just shit.
I enjoyed it. If it was shit, I would say it was shit. If it was shit, I would not have watched the entire season.
How many times have you watched The Last Jedi?
But that's a really good... We're not going down that path. Every single episode.
Again, if it's good, fuck it. Keep making it. Keep doing it. I don't want to see a point where they reach oversaturation with, like, we're just going to keep pumping shit and pumping shit. Black Bolt. What's his whole shit again? Remember they did the whole IMAX thing? It was another Marvel show that fucking tanked. Inhumans.
Inhumans. Yeah.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
That one, I will gladly admit, that was crap.
But do you see what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how obscure you want to pull characters out of your ass.
I mean, up until Guardians...
But if you want to make it good...
Fair enough, because if Guardians of the Galaxy, for example, when that came out, that was a very small niche fandom before it became the box office.
We'll get into that later.
Yes, we'll get into that later. Let's talk about the other trailer that came out recently. You have it's a new horror comedy film called Slaughterhouse Rules, starring Asa Butterfield, Nick Frost,
Simon Pegg,
Michael Sheen, I think was in there. Yeah. It looks fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at it as, I know this is not a
it's not Shakespeare, but you're gonna enjoy it.
Oh yeah, it reminds me a lot of like Attack the Block style of those British humor comedies. It does have the trailer does have a bit of a Cornetto trilogy feel
Is it
to
because
it.
of the ice cream he was eating halfway through?
That took me off by surprise. I'm like, wait,
Because it wasn't a Cornetto, but
no,
it was.
It wasn't, but I was like, is this another new thing? And then I went online and looked in the history of it. I'm like, oh, okay, so
No,
Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are producing, they're starring in it, but they have no other say.
See, I knew it wasn't because they didn't mention Edgar Wright at all during the trailer.
That's true. You have to have Edgar Wright and all of that.
Well, because I feel like they would have mentioned that, especially with Baby Driver
They
and other
definitely
things that he's
would've-
done. If
yeah.
he was attached to it in any way, they would have said,
True.
shabams.
It looks fun, though.
Yeah. I mean, I have no
It's gonna be
complaints
fun,
behind
though.
it.
Although, as of today, as a recording,
Get you excited again for more
there's
spooky movie
no
season? Come on, we
US
can watch
release
we can
date
watch,
for that
watch
movie.
Lesbian Vampire Hunters again.
I have no problem watching that. Those 5-year-olds had it coming.
They shouldn't be fucking with my shit.
Go watch that movie. It's so bad, it's good.
I wouldn't even go that far. It's just it's a thing. It needs to be experienced.
Like the Star Wars Holiday Special?
That's a whole nother thing. It's a whole nother monster.
Or Sharknado
Like, dude.
Time Travel?
Oh, dude, the worst part is, I think I told you, a friend of mine, Jill, loves terrible movies. She's the one who showed me The Room and has showed me other terrible shit. I actually sat her down last year and we watched Lesbian Vampire Hunter. Or, Lesbian Vampire Killers.
Killers.
Because they keep changing the fucking name depending on where you are. But even she's like, this movie is not very good. I'm like, so you do have a point. There is a point where you can watch a bad movie and be like, this isn't very good. It's a shame this is where you draw that line.
But see, at the same time, there's things like, naughty. Come on. That one's so bad it's good.
That is just a thing. It's much like the Star Wars Christmas movie where it's like I only bring it out to subject others to it.
Really is. Really is.
Like I could never conceive of a situation I'm like, I'm gonna watch this sober.
Oh
Because
God,
I want
no.
to.
God, no.
No. It's like let's get Tank, get some people over and watch this turd.
Yeah.
But not this movie though.
No.
Slaughterhouse looks like I could probably enjoy it sober. I mean, probably will with a cocktail or two, but
It's
looks
more
legitimately
enjoyable
good.
with that. So that'll be coming out again later on this year. Or
well, it
October.
says Halloween at the end of it.
Halloween in the UK. As of right now, there's currently no U.S. release date slated.
Huh.
Sucks.
Well, I mean,
But
they're probably
it-
just trying to find distribution.
Or because it's coming up so soon, could you imagine it? Halloween in the UK, in the US, Netflix.
Maybe. I don't
Yeah.
think that'll happen, but
But it's happening with other movies,
I
which we'll
think
get to later on.
I think Simon Pegg's too big of a name at that point.
That is true. They'll have to redo the trailer a little bit to focus on him a little bit more, which is not hard to do at the least. But that's all the new movies that are new trailers that were coming out. It's been a while since we did a last episode. Let's do a quick recap of the big trailers, movie trailers from Comic-Con. Now,
Yep.
people had time
Because
to.
we kind of missed it.
Yeah, we recorded
Day one.
after day one, so we missed all the rest of that. And we'll get to some more details about that in a little bit.
I'll let you start off with M. Night Shyamalan nonsense. 'Cause
Glass?
You're the only one I know who
Dude.
gives a shit about that.
I totally give a shit about that. I am looking
Again,
forward to
and you're
that.
the only one.
Okay. M. Night Shyamalan has a bad rap, and for good reason. Damn good reason. But within all of that,
We can all agree his best work was She's All That.
you love bringing that up, don't you?
I really do, because that is his best work. Like, that's not even sarcasm. Come on. Fucking Freddie Prinze playing hacky sack, reciting some, like, deep slam poetry. Never give up, Zach. Gotta keep going.
You know,
Come on. You even have Foggy Nelson in that movie.
I know.
It's like the weird version
I
of
know.
Ducky. Yes, supersize my balls. And you're telling me that movie's not an instant classic?
I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying you really. Never mind. I'm not going to win that argument.
Because you know that she just walked in and she'd back me 100%? Best M. Night Shyamalan movie is She's All That.
She takes the time to process it.
What?
Yeah.
What movie would top that?
All right. Well, let's go
Not
next.
The
So,
Village.
you know, he got the big praise for Signs. Oh God. I know.
Cindy Hoozle.
So M. Night Shyamalan, he has been a very divisive figure. We'll call it that within the movie world. He has some hits. He had a lot of misses. But I really enjoyed.
Do you not remember before that? Like, there is that whole thing on Rotten Tomatoes where they're like trying to gauge where his next movie would be, and they're like, yeah, by the time the next one comes out, it'll be negative, because gradually you saw just a steady decline of his movies. And then, sure enough, I think it plateaued when After Earth came out. And it's like you get a 2.
God awful.
Again, it got a 2.
But
Sorry, I'll let you talk about Glass.
thank you. In the prequels leading up to it, I really enjoyed Unbreakable. I think it was a fantastic, highly underrated movie.
Never saw it.
I have it on DVD. I'll have to let you borrow it so you can watch it.
Watching Frasier at the moment.
Yes, Frasier is a fantastic series, but I think you can spare like 2 hours for that. From there's a Split, which earned a lot of praise for James McAvoy's character in that movie. I agree with what Jess was saying earlier that the rest of the female cast was not good, but James McAvoy deserves all the praise he gets for that. And so now we have Glass, where we actually have like the trilogy coming, the end of the trilogy, bringing everything together that started, 30 years ago almost at this point. So, bringing Mr. Glass, bringing Bruce Willis's character into it.
He had a cool name too, didn't he?
I can't remember his name in it for the life of me. The problem is, in that movie, it's just Bruce Willis being Bruce Willis. So, I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to it. This trailer looks great. It hit all the buttons for me for
That's all that matters then. Like, it's for you.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
clearly everything else is like, yeah, the ones who don't really care because we're probably not going to spend money to see it.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. I'll go see it for myself. I'll be happy
No,
with
you
that.
won't. You'll end up dragging one of us.
Or both.
You'll most likely end up being like, Jordan, You want to hang out and watch these 2 movies? Cool. I've never seen them before. Let's give this a go. Wait. You watched them. Now we get to go see the 3rd one. Fuck you for knowing I'm a completionist.
Which is gonna happen. You know.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Way to make it sound super rapey.
it's always gonna be super.
As I pour like more alcohol.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Let's get into the.
But side note, speaking of trilogies, I didn't know that the Terminator 6 is supposed to be an end trilogy.
Really?
Like technically, the point of that movie is to retcon all the other ones, except for 1 and 2.
Really?
Like, and the fact that it's being written by David Goyer, Tim Miller, and was heavily influenced because they worked with James Cameron for it.
Huh.
And remember how like we were kind of worried at first?
But isn't that a typical thing that's been going on nowadays? Is that we have to retcon the stuff that didn't do well?
Let's be honest, with all the time travel stuff, does it really matter?
At this point, it really doesn't.
Because even when 3 came out, they're like, yeah, this is alternate. Like they already like openly admitted that.
Yeah.
And with Genesis, the way that went down, technically that would have retconned Salvation, and most of 1 and 2.
True. They'll still keep making.
But they also backtracked on the fact that they're like, this is going to be an all-female cast. They're like, no, like we have a bunch of dudes. It's just going to be a regular movie.
Yeah.
But it's going to focus on Sarah Connor.
I'm fine with that.
And it's Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor.
Yes.
And technically the dude who played John Connor in Terminator 2 as John Connor.
I'm good with all of this.
No, I didn't know most of this until today.
Oh, you were just looking online all the articles?
Yeah.
Like, I like the idea that they're going through with that aspect. I like the fact that that's fine. They're going to focus on a main female character. That's fine. The fact they're not going to do the whole, it's all females, and we're going to have Ghostbusters all over it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's because when we talked about it on the show, when we first found out about it, that's the way they kept portraying it.
Mm-hmm.
When it went back, they're like, no, that's not the case at all.
That's true.
Like fucking Diego Luna is the new like murder bot thing.
Right.
And Arnold is still going to be heavily in it, which
Or at
was
least
something they didn't mention.
Stunt double.
No, they're saying him and mostly for the stunts is the double.
Yeah.
But they are still going with the like in Genesis where it was Pops, where he is still aging because he is an older model. Like he wasn't supposed to stay pristine.
Exactly.
So
makes sense. We'll have to see how that.
Fucking hyped.
Yeah. Well, speaking of other hype stuff, DC I think actually had some pretty solid hits coming out of Comic-Con this year. The fact that Marvel did not bring any of its big hits.
They didn't do that last year.
But
or the year before that.
But they have D23 now to focus on their own stuff, so they're not going to really do that. They brought their Marvel TV shows, but I didn't even read that stuff in passing.
No, we saw the Iron Fist thing. We're like, cool, maybe it won't be shit. Because that's when we found out the fact that they got the fight coordinator for Black Panther.
For Black Panther, yes. But I'm talking about, I know they had a like an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel. I didn't watch it, even though they put it.
I forgot about that.
They had a number of other panels available, and I just didn't really got around to checking it out. I didn't feel bad about that because
you're not wrong.
DC, they knew that they had to bring out the stops for this year. They didn't really have much.
Well, yeah, what happened last year?
Well, last year they had No, that was several years ago. Was the Star Wars one?
Wait, we're talking about Marvel or DC having to like dickwag?
No, DC. I was reminded of a I forget which Comic-Con it was. It was fairly recent, where there was a big Hall H presentation for Star Wars, and they turned around and said, "Hey, look, everybody in here, walk with me right now. We're gonna go see a free concert of that." And the next person
wasn't that Chris Hardwick who did that?
No, was it?
Because I remember that was the big deal. Because the panel immediately after that was Kevin Smith, who just keeps fucking getting shafted.
But he had another Hall H presentation this year and packed it to the rafters.
But
anyways, we're going far off track. Welcome to the show.
The big trailers that DC had, and they had a few. My least favorite out of the two, Shazam, and that's not to say that it was a bad trailer. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed the other one a lot more. But the trailer for Shazam was good.
I really enjoyed it.
I mean, the only thing that was annoying, all the people I know who are nerds are people who enjoy nerdy things. Like my coworkers and stuff like that. They're like, so what is a Shazam? It's Captain Marvel.
See, that just
What's a
hurts
Captain
me.
Marvel? All right, kids, gather around. Let's learn you some history.
The
Well, why
history
is his
between
name
DC
Shazam? Who is the old guy? Well, the old guy is Shazam. Like that,
Yeah.
he's a wizard. He
Yes.
does some shit. Well, then why does he give up his powers if he's immortal?
You're going down a rabbit hole do you really want to go down right
But
now?
again, I spent like my entire 30-minute lunch that day. Like half like willing to like go to my desk, get a piece of paper, and like start drawing charts. But I mean, Zachary Levi was fucking fantastic as Shazam. I don't know the actor's name, but the little kid from It plays Billy Batson's best friend.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see a little bit of Mark Strong. I think like 2 seconds,
if that. But I'm happy with everything that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
I like this different. It's not even a different take for Shazam. It's more so I like this new path that Warner Brothers DC are going to be taking for some of their movies on it. In terms of let's go down the not so much the Marvel path, but
let's not have to do everything dark and gritty.
Dark and gritty to the point where it's just a pile of gravel on the screen and
not like Call of Duty game.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Gray brown shit everywhere.
But it looks to be fun. It looks to be has the right amount of camp. I hope it looks to be enjoyable, and I look forward to see where they're gonna go from here. Which brings us to Aquaman. That one was a surprise for me.
Not really.
For me, it was.
Was it better than I expected? Yeah. Did it catch me that by surprise? No. When they came out saying that it's being directed by James Wan, I was like, okay, yeah.
The reason it surprised me was because thinking to what the character's backstory is and what they have to do and a lot of CG underwater work, and I'm just thinking that James Wan's going to go out there and try to go balls to the wall with a bunch of stuff, which he's known for, but because the majority of it is CG, would have to be CG, that it's just going to look bad. Like Bats v Soup's bad.
But hoping they learned.
But I think they did because everything I saw in this trailer looks polished, looks fun. It has the right amount of realism and comic-ish physics, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, I'm just worried that they literally put their best foot forward, and now we're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
I really hope that's not the case.
That's what scares me.
Because that's one really good step forward at that point.
I also have to point out that because of a certain scene at the end of that trailer,
redheads gotta love them.
Everyone fucking sent me that.
I'm not surprised.
Especially Dom.
Well, yeah.
So I kept sending that in meme
Well,
format.
you have a well-known affinity for the Ginge.
That's fine. They're as a meme I saw once. They are God's perfect little roses, and I will not apologize for that.
Without any souls. But anyways. All right. Well, these just be communication starters. We had a whole episode just on that.
And now the very, very best trailer. Well, we glossed over Aquaman, but it looks fun. You can't really talk about something that's like 2 minutes of just like fighting. It's like trying to describe a Dragon Ball Z episode. There's a lot of screaming, fighting,
watch Dragon Ball,
and explodey things.
Just watch DBZ Bridge and you'll get the better gist of it.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I think it's time to move on to the best trailer in my eyes that came out of Comic-Con.
Yes, and the most highly, in terms of popularity, I was with you in terms of I've asked people like, what was the biggest trailer from Comic-Con that you liked, and no one brought this up. And I'm like,
no one brought it up until I showed it to them, and they're like, that looks really fucking good.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about Godzilla King of Monsters. This sequel is just kicking everything it did in the first movie up a massive notch, and they're bringing a lot of the classic monsters from the franchise to this giant free for all.
Finish your bit so I can give you the last of the ice.
Yes, any more drinks.
It's already turning to water.
While I'm working on that, what monsters do we have in this movie?
Ooh, we have Mothra, we have Rodan, fuck. I mean,
Ghidorah?
obviously Godzilla. Yeah, Ghidorah. Like I said, I'm torn because I always feel bad because I keep seeing that thing where people are like, yeah, Ghidra. That
no, not Ghidra. King Ghidorah.
King Ghidorah. I know that, but like I said,
King Ghidorah, Gamera, which I'm so fucking stoked for. That's gonna be awesome.
Gamera's in this bitch too?
Gamera's in this bitch too.
Wouldn't that be the first time he's ever fought Godzilla?
It's the first time he's ever fought Godzilla.
Ooh.
A giant fucking turtle that can shoot fire.
I don't know how well that's gonna end. I feel like Japan's gonna revolt.
We'll see what happens.
But I mean, just come on.
We'll just have Ken Watanabe come on stage multiple times and go, let them fight. That's all you need at this point.
Because you know, basically how it should have ended video got that one right.
Yes.
His character didn't try, let them fight.
Well, okay. People are probably trying to think, okay, we're going to have probably a huge, deep story to make this work. We're going to have to require a boatload of backstory about these characters. No, you don't.
Not
Big
required.
ass monsters about to fuck up shit. Let Godzilla fight them.
Kaijus, Jason. They're called kaijus.
Fine.
Let's watch all 5 nerds of Pacific Rim be like, he said the word.
I mean, I can't say anything because I enjoyed.
Sorry, the other 4 nerds out there.
God damn it! I walked right into that.
Look, that movie wasn't bad, but you can't keep showing boat sword throughout the entire trailer, and then you finally get it in the last 5 minutes.
I mean, it was a cool scene.
It really was.
But man, that
By
was
the
like
way, we never did see the sequel, did we?
no, we never did, and it's already out on Blu-ray.
We were all hyped. It's like it's got John Bogoya and fucking kaijus again.
But then the problem is, I read some of the reviews and was like, I really enjoyed the first movie. What the hell did they do with this one? Because I don't think Guillermo del Toro was attached to this one at all.
Speaking of him, you know what I still want to this day?
Huh?
When they finally get around to making the sequel to Doctor Strange,
Have him attached to
they
it?
should totally have him direct it.
Ooh, that could be...
Like,
That
think
could be
about
interesting.
it. You could go into the dark shit, like where you could have
Which is his bread and butter.
what the hell's his name? The one-eyed eyeball starfish thingy. Like he's one of the fightable characters. Asumagorath.
Ugh.
Like, could you imagine if that was the big bad, and he was the one attached to Doctor Strange 2?
That could just be... With his artistic styling on all that.
That horror and everything, especially considering you know how much he loves the practical effects.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Oh, yeah.
but Godzilla King of Monsters looks absolutely fucking fantastic.
Looks to be fun. And of course, after this, we do have... They're still in the pre-production stages of it, but it would be Godzilla versus King Kong.
Yes.
So, the fact
Which
we're
is a
having
very
all these
one-sided
kaiju
fight.
movies making its way over here, tied in with the fact we've already talked about briefly, but that Legendary is also going to be bringing a live-action Gundam movie.
Yeah.
With the same style of everything else, I'm good.
Well,
I'm
honestly,
happy.
I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that we talked about it when we did the recap of AX, where we briefly discussed the Japanese culture being more obtainable now.
It really is.
And due to the accessibility of it, it's also easily a lot more accepted.
Plus, also, I mean, the Hollywood and film industry loves to go after semi-niche nerd topics in waves.
But
because there was the bad video games,
Yeah.
there was the bad comics, then there was good comics.
Because the problem is you get one fanboy who makes the movie,
Yes.
and it does really well.
Yes.
So the rest of Hollywood wants to jump the bandwagon, and then they don't understand it because they didn't have access to that material.
Right.
So I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Mortal Kombat #1, not exactly the best movie ever or video game movie.
No.
But was it pretty close to the video games and captured it pretty well?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's why it fucking took off.
All I can think of is Street Fighter.
Do you know why Street Fighter didn't take off? Because that's what happens when you have Hollywood try to take over and make it.
Of course.
The only good part of that movie was M. Bison.
Yes.
And he, without a doubt, one of the greatest villain monologues of all time. The day M. Bison came to your town and ruined everything, that was the moment that defined your life. But for M. Bison, that was a Tuesday. It's like, Jesus Christ. That is fucking brilliant.
Oh, I have to watch that movie again.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You really, really don't.
I'll fast forward through the bad parts, which is most of it. But anyways.
Even Kylie Minogue, like, wearing tight clothing as Cammy wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough for you?
No. That woman is gorgeous.
Yeah, well, at least we're not trying to watch the Dead or Alive movies, plural, because they made a sequel.
Dude, I keep forgetting that's even a game.
Yeah, I can see why. Anyways.
It's like the RC Cola of Tekken. What, you got Street Fighter as your Coca-Colas. Your Mortal Kombat as, like, your Pepsis.
Right.
And then, like, near the end of the list, you got your Dead or Alive. That's like when you go to Walmart and you get Dr. Thunder.
But remember, they also did a Street Fighter
just says
spin-off.
Cola.
The Street Fighter spin-off movie. There was a Chun-Li movie.
Oh,
Solo movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I actually watched that.
I forgot about that movie. That fucking had Lois Lane from Smallville as Chun-Li.
Oh, my God. It was just...
And fucking Chris Klein was the main love interest.
Yes.
He's the new bad guy in Flash now in season
Is
5.
he the new bad guy in Flash?
Yeah. They gave him like a weird. I mean, they didn't show his face yet, but the whole Comic-Con trailer was him just going.
You could tell. Okay.
But like they're like, yeah, it's Chris Klein.
But yeah, that Chun-Li movie, that was an experience.
You know how I know you're a fucking weeb? You keep saying Chun.
You spill it everywhere.
I was trying not to laugh. Not Chun-Li like a normal person.
Chun-Li, motherfucker.
More sex, I spilt booze. But yeah, so yeah, Comic-Con I guess wasn't really much, at least not in terms of what I was expecting.
No, there wasn't much there this year, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
I blame the lack of Chris Hardwick.
Yes, but I'm really thankful to see that he is getting back to AMC.
Yes.
All of his shows are coming back this month.
You know the sad part is the article I read that announced that,
Mm-hmm.
like they just shat all over him too. They're like, he's getting his job back, but should he? Did he really deserve it? Like,
He should have been pulled in the first place.
It's like he shouldn't have been.
Although I just have to laugh that his ex Chloe Dykstra, when confronted about it, was like, "I wasn't trying to ruin ruin the person I was talking to with their career.
No,
I
you
was
were
trying
trying
to
to
say
boost
my
yours."
yeah." I was like, "You're saying after saying this huge slam piece that you didn't want to hurt them."
You mean you
whatsoever."
don't understand consequences? Shocker.
Yeah. At least he's getting back. I'm happy for that. If he wasn't coming back, I'd be really
Yes.
pissed off.
Pound me too. I mean, hashtag me too.
Okay, enough of that. We've talked 30 minutes on our opening conversation starter.
That sounds about right.
Let's get to our top story, which ties into what happened during Comic-Con. James Gunn, unfortunately, was attacked by a bunch of reporters, and unfortunately, they decided to dig up a bunch of tweets, comedic shock, shock humor tweets that.
Well, wasn't it like some far left organization where their whole thing is like they go back and
No,
they'll try to
it was far right conservative activists.
There you go.
Yeah, these morons. Which I think they were also, some of them were actually convicted pedophiles themselves.
Yeah, like they went out of their way to like track down dirt.
They did everything they could to publicly shame James Gunn with tweets that he made over a decade ago.
You know what the sad part is? When I saw that, you know, my first thought was, "Fuck, Twitter's been around for that long. That's depressing."
Been around for longer than that.
Yeah.
But anyways, so this got all over public media, and so it got into the news spotlight, and of course, public outcry of the Me Too movement and everything else was like, how dare he make jokes about what he was making of? And he made jokes. I'm not gonna.
It was like rape and forced anal sex.
Yes, I'm gonna make a joke about my best friend raping her while she's passed out next to me.
Yeah.
During that time frame when he was writing those tweets, he was working for Troma, which is known for their
shock,
horror, shock, bad comedy, B-movie movies.
Yes, you need to add Toxic Avenger. That's kind of horror.
That's also kind of horrible.
Some
God,
top tier 80s movies.
God, I haven't watched that in ages.
I got bored and watched all of them like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. They had them all on Netflix. Like
Last time I watched any.
What's up?
The last time I watched any trauma movie was, God, I can't remember the last time. I do remember watching Toxic Avenger back in college, though. God, that was a weird time. Anyways, so because of all this, Disney seemed to jump very fast to conclusions, and basically overreacted and said these offensive actions and tweets by James Gunn are not something we want to have here at Disney. So we have severed our business relationship with him. Just 10 years ago, you were an asshole. It got caught up to you. We can't take the bad PR now. You're gone.
I will say this. My favorite response to this was my buddy Keith on Facebook. He's like, "Oh my God, Disney fired James Gunn over some offensive tweets he made over 10 years ago. Quick, no one tell Disney about Robert Downey Jr.'s past."
Yeah, no kidding. Considering everything he's done in the past, Jesus. Not to mention all the jail time.
Again.
Yeah.
Homeboy's seen and done some shit.
Yes, he has.
But
I have to say though that James Gunn handled this
like a fucking champ.
Yes, he did. He sent out a long post on Twitter explaining that these were stuff he did in the past when he viewed himself as a provocateur. He was making movies and telling jokes that were outrageous and taboo, so that's what he was going to do on Twitter as well for shock value itself. but he has grown as a person since then, and most people have. There is shit I have done 10 years ago that I don't want to see back in public life. I'm glad 10 years ago there really wasn't social media for that shit.
What was 10 years ago?
10 years ago was 2008.
10 years ago, I was still using MySpace. I know, because Facebook reminds me, hey, you became best friends with like Jess or Lauren 9 years ago.
Was Lauren in your top 8?
Back in the MySpace days? Oh yeah. Bitch was number 1 with a bullet.
I'm sure some people who are watching this are like, what the hell is the top 8?
That's when you weren't an asshole, and you didn't want to use the 12 or 18 option, but you had enough friends where you didn't want to use the 4. You use the standard 8.
Dude, I watched relationships crumble.
Oh yeah,
because friends were like,
school.
"Why are you not in my top 8?
No, not that. Why am I number 4 on your top 8?
Yes.
Shouldn't I be number 1 or 2?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I this? At one point, like I threw all my friends on there and then just made it alphabetical. Just so it's like, why am I number 7? Bitch, because your name begins with a W. Will. Okay. Done.
Oh God, so horrible. But anyways, so he posted other statements saying basically the same thing after everything was done. And literally the fandom, the community, the cast and crew all came around and was like, this is bullshit.
Well, not necessarily. A lot of the cast of Guardians, they were very quiet for the first few days. With the exception of Batista, who was very much like, this is absolute shit. Like,
and Michael Rooker.
Hell? Yeah, Michael not
Rooker,
as strong, but
Michael Rooker just basically straight up said, "This is bullshit. This is dumb. Why are you treating people like this? Fuck this. I'm out." And drops his Twitter account.
Yeah. But everyone else, it was like a week later. Yeah. That's when they did like the group. They all posted the same thing.
Oh yeah, that big one. I think I had the.
Up here. They all posted the same thing. It's like it's nothing but love. It's cool. I remember I saw it because of Karen Gillian.
Mm-hmm.
God, that woman's gorgeous as well. But
yes, she is.
To the point where they all kind of said this. I think the only one that I knew that was like blatantly silent was Chris Pratt, and he just kept going like thoughts and prayers.
Oh yeah, started posting like Bible verses or something like that on his Twitter account or something like that.
I respect the man, and he does decent work, but the amount of Jesus he keeps trying to interject to stuff bothers me.
During that one award show,
I know, I saw it too.
Number 1, God is real, and I'm like, oh God, okay.
But
anyways, but with this huge letter that they posted out and signed by everybody was basically like, there's little due process in the court of public opinion. We believe in James. People grow, people mature as they move along, and Guardians of the Galaxy is great because of him, and we want him reinstated as not only the writer or
someone
also the
I don't
director.
remember who. They even brought up the point. It's like, yes, you're surprised that this person did these things when his movie that he's so famous for doing, Guardians of the Galaxy, what's it about? A bunch of garbage people who have learned from their mistakes and are trying to do better, and are constantly trying to prove that. Are you that fucking surprised?
Mm-hmm. And like the ramifications of this went far and wide, well beyond Disney itself. The fact that other people try to go after other popular people right now for stuff they did 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
They went crazy for that stuff. But a number of people a number of companies followed through very differently. For example, Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
About, 10 years ago, he was trying to make shorts and little skits and whatnot for Adult Swim. And he created a movie, a short. I forget what it was called. But it was supposed to be a variation of... God, I can't remember what it was trying to mimic. Thank you. It was a twist on Dexter. But instead of killing people, it was like raping little kids.
Yeah, he was like a child molester or
some something like that. And even then he came out and was like,
I'm leaving Twitter.
Not before he said that. He was basically going, this is something I made 10 years ago. I made it. I published it. I sent it to Adult Swim executives. We all agreed, including myself, that this was not in good taste. It wasn't going to do well. So we dropped it, and that was supposed to be the end of it. I have done more stuff since then, and this is something I have learned from. And Adult Swim came out and was like, again, this is something that he came up with as a proof of concept. We didn't agree with it then. We never moved forward with it.
Yeah.
And he is
we didn't agree with it then. We don't agree with it now.
Yeah, we've moved forward with him at this point on another project, and it's been phenomenal. People have mistakes. People learn from them and move forward. We stand by him.
Yeah.
Fantastic way to answer to that.
And then he left Twitter again.
He'll be back within a year. But the whole I don't want to dive into how this ties into the whole Me Too movement and whatnot, but it's literally now at the point where you have people like Ryan Johnson. He went back and deleted 20,000 tweets.
Oh, yeah, I read that. Like, he just went through, like, on a
20,000 tweets. And people asked him about it, and he straight up basically replied with, it's nothing I'm not ashamed of, but I know that in this day and age, this stuff could be used against me in the future for stuff I did years ago, so why would I leave out there in public record?
Wish this would have been found and caught.
Deleted all of that. So, yeah.
It's a giant fucking shit show.
Yeah.
And it sucks that someone, at least I believe he literally meant no harm by it.
No, he didn't.
I think he just...
Yeah.
I think we've all taken certain jokes too far.
Of course.
The only problem is we're not as open in society's eye, so we can kind of get away with it.
We're Dujo's most drinking, talking about geek shit. No one gives a shit.
All 12 of our viewers.
But, I mean, moving forward...
The tenderest of pee-pee touches for all 12 of you.
There you go. Thank you. So, moving forward with this... a lot of people are wondering if Disney was even going to move forward with James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy 3 script. Not only because, one, it was done, but two, Kevin Feige already said multiple times that what happens in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 will have huge ramifications for the entire MCU Phase 4 on. So if it's already done, are you, A, going to try to go back and redo a bunch of stuff, and then try to, from that point, change everything else you already had set in place for Phase 4, or are you going to use the script? So as of right now, Hollywood is, Deadline was reporting that it seems like Kevin Feige has been at Marvel backing James Gunn, getting him back into the spotlight, getting him back into at least using the script, and possibly back into the director's chair for this.
Yeah.
Because literally, Disney, you kind of fucked up on this one by not,
But it's Disney. They won't apologize.
They won't apologize, but you need to at least bring him back. If you're not going to apologize publicly or do a deep thing like we were so
But
sorry.
again, they can't apologize. Think about every big story we've had with Disney where it's like someone fucked up. I know you don't like it, but Last Jedi. Or Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah.
Or what happened when Pirates got fucked up because Johnny Depp did something.
He's always done random
But
shit.
again, what did they do? They either turn a blind eye to it,
but
if it affects them because it was something they did, they cannot apologize.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though.
The House of Mouse stands strong.
But here's the thing, though. This is a man who's put in 2 movies together. I think it was like $1.5 to $2 billion in revenue
That he's made for like
that he's made
nothing.
for Disney from something that they never thought it would actually be nearly as popular as it is right now. That it has ramifications across the entire MCU over the course of just 2 movies. Well, 2.5 if you include what he did for Infinity War. But
Yeah.
besides that, plus with everything he has done with Guardians now, even the popular favorite Taika Waititi, do you think he's really going to be comfortable trying to dive in front of all of that controversy and to the director's chair for Guardians 3?
To cross that finish line for him? No.
No one's going to want to do that. Okay,
I mean, someone would.
Someone would, but will they do it happily? They will
or at
do
least
it
without some hesitation or like, fuck.
There's like, if I do this may lead to some other work.
This is
but
a
there's
daunting
a
as
lot
shit
of
task.
shit that I will deal with if I don't get this right, and I already know I'm not going to in some people's eyes.
Why not? They can pull a Zack Snyder. Oh, if I didn't do it, someone else could do it, and they could do worse.
Oh.
That's your rationality, Zack Snyder?
Oh. We're not going to talk about Ryan Johnson the last night. We've already tried that in the past. We've gone through that every single episode for the past.
We have since then.
It's been our thing every single episode. Oh man, I still think Ryan Johnson did a fantastic job with Last Jedi. We will not talk about it.
So
we will not talk about any further in this episode.
Look. We are at an impasse. I think Ryan Johnson can suck it. You think he's good. And we'll leave it at that for now, because we've talked about it enough.
Far enough. Moving on.
Literally, this episode alone, it's come up like 4 times.
Yes, I know.
Currently, Dave Bautista's even mentioned the fact that like if they don't even at least use James Gunn's script, he's like, I'm fucking done. He's like, I'm gonna try to get out of my contract. I will not do it.
And at that point, it's one of those like, it
can be done, but
really do not want to try to recast Drax.
Like I said, it's
now
not,
if it was like a CG character like Rocket,
yeah,
you can probably easily get more
or
easier.
someone who wore a lot of face makeup, like say Red Skull in Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Like if there was some weird twist you can do with getting around it, maybe, but you really can't.
Yeah. So, I just hope in the end, I'm really rooting for James Gunn. I'm on his side on this. I think Disney overstepped their, they jumped the gun far too quickly on this.
I think
hope
they
that
wanted
they
to
find
react
some way.
appropriately, and instead they overreacted.
I'm hoping cooler heads prevail on this, and they realize the error of their ways. They don't have to come out and publicly announce, say that they were wrong. But I'm really hoping Kevin Feige finds a way.
I would love if they came out and they're like, "Yeah, no, we didn't really fire him. What we did was we were trying to investigate the situation, and during that time, we just kind of suspended. We had to remove him to make sure everything was safe.
We had to sever the ties, but we didn't never said
to keep things
permanently.
impartial. Exactly. Yes. Some kind of weird bullshit lawyer speak.
I would be cool with that.
Gladly
would take that. I will gladly take that.
I would gladly swallow that jagged little pill and be like, whatever you say, Disney, just make it so.
Because could you imagine? Because you already have the Russo brothers. They've done great work within the MCU itself. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine a tag team movie, internet tag team directed by Taika Waititi and James Gunn? There'd be some next level shit.
That would be all over the absolute fucking place.
Yeah, that would be some next level stuff with a budget that Disney could provide.
I don't know if they'd throw that kind of... I don't think they'd throw Iron Man money at it.
I think they would. If they get past this and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 just makes all the money in the world, yes. Because all of Disney executives are going to look at is, 1, public opinion, and 2, their pocketbooks. And if that number keeps on rising, they're going to turn around and think less about the social media backlash of it.
I think that's true. But again, the amount of money they would throw towards things is different. I think they know that they can spend, say, $80 million.
Yeah, $50 to $80 million for a startup. Like that's what the initial budget was for Ant-Man. When Edgar Wright was working.
But even then, if you know you can still spend $50 to $80 million and still churn out $1 billion, why are you spending $100 to $150 million on it?
Because the problem is you have to do $50 to $80 million on a start of a franchise, of a series.
If they're already known for polishing turds into gold, or if they're known as the Rumpelstiltskins, like, give me something and I'll churn out gold.
Look at everything they've done before.
But they don't have to produce, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, though? Like, let me phrase that. They don't have to put up giant, big money to still churn out gold.
Okay, fair enough.
Again, look at Guardians, and look at Guardians 2.
Yes.
Yeah, you saw a small bump because they're like, now we can take more risks. But at the same time, they don't have to throw giant money out there because the return is still going to be amazing.
Hopefully, yes.
Not hopefully, it will be.
Yes, okay.
That's what I'm saying, though. So if there was a movie like that...
There are very few guaranteed golden gooses out there. And up until this point, I think James Gunn was actually one of them once he started with the Guardians franchise. But we can dive into that whole different
I think he found his baby.
But the fact that every other every other movie studio out there is just waiting for... As soon as there's
the fact there's rumors now that Warner Brothers is like, we'll fucking hire you. We'll hire you so hard.
But Sony, he was actually going to have a panel at Sony showcasing a trailer for his new project that they were going to announce right there at Comic-Con. And this happened the night before, and they just dropped it.
I could only imagine what would happen, like, if he went to DC. Like, something tells me if he were to jump to DC, like, say the whole Marvel thing doesn't work.
Right.
I think he would easily end up being like, yeah, we're going to have you do, like, the Gotham City Sirens.
Okay, but see...
Or we're going to have you do this.
I fear that if they ever did something like that, it would end up becoming like Joss Whedon. In the sense that he was brought in to try to salvage Bats v. Soups, and then they were going to give him Batgirl, and he looked at everything about that, and he went, nope.
Justice League.
Was it Bats? Oh, I'm sorry, Justice League. My apologies, not Bats v. Soups. I keep on thinking about that turd in my mind for some reason.
It'll always sit there, stinking, festering.
Really will. It really, really will. Especially because they spent way too much money on marketing that pile of shit.
What I was hinting at or trying to get to, I think they would give him the Nolan deal. Look, you make our movie, and we'll fund your passion project. But you have to put out for us first.
I could see any Any studio,
Any director would fucking take that.
Any director will take that.
Even Nolan, the most pretentious piece of shit, he took that deal.
Yes, he
How
did.
many times?
4 times?
3.5.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll say 2.5 because Batman 2, Batman 3, and then he produced Man of Steel.
Okay, fair enough.
Because remember, they originally wanted him to take Superman, and he's like,
No.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
What if you just produce? Can I make Dunkirk? The fuck is a Dunkirk?
Just say yes.
Look, just say yes. But you'll produce? You're going to be attached? We can use your name? Yeah. All right, fine.
All right. Okay, well, I think we've been this long enough. Well, I think we're both of the agreement that...
James Gunn, come back.
Yes, please do. Disney, please just own up to your mistake and move forward with that.
Just
or at
like
least,
Goofy. Beg. Baby, please. I could change.
She means nothing to me. God, that cartoon series is not for kids. It's so good.
But anywho.
Yeah, enough of that. That was our main topic for this this episode. Let's get to just a bunch of stuff we want to bring in there called our quick hits. Starting with MoviePass. MoviePass has been having a bunch of problems as of late.
Failing
as
spectacularly.
Of, 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, they just stopped working because, not technical issues, but they just ran out of money. They've since got like a $5 million loan to keep things afloat for temporary. And then they turned around and they said, we have to make some major changes to MoviePass. So, beginning August 15th, anyone currently paying $10 a month for the month-to-month service will no longer be able to attend a single movie every day of the month. They've cut that down from a movie a day for a month to 3 movies a month, and that's it. They say it should not affect most people because they, according to their numbers, most people see 3 or less movies a month.
Honestly, that probably still works because now it's the end of summer.
Yes, now you're starting to get into like the Oscar bait season and blah blah blah. But the problem is not the problem, but the other thing is that the 3 movie a month thing seems to be the key number for a lot of its competitors. Cinemia does like for $20 a month. They also have an $8.95 a month option. They do 3 movies a month. AMC has their A-list subscription package. They do for $20 a month. They do 3 movies a month, but they also include all the big options like Dolby and IMAX.
Yeah, but there's also has like bonuses, like you can bring a friend for like $8.
Yes, I know that Cinemark has one as well, where they're not limited by the number of movies a month, but if you buy a movie, you can get someone else for like a
there you go. That's the
rate.
one I was thinking of.
Yeah, Cinemark has that option.
It's like you get $20 or 20% off of concessions.
Yeah.
And other weird shit, but yeah.
It's the whole thing that...
Yeah, they all have their package deals.
So, but with MoviePass, though, they are hemorrhaging money left, right, and center. So they had to make these changes. And there's even talk of a buyout right now by, not by MoviePass, but MoviePass's company, the owners of them. Like Heatherson, forget what their name, some firm, whatnot. But it's actually some other group of like, yeah, we may buy you for almost pennies on the dollar because their stock just
plummeted.
Drops. Because it was an unsustainable model. They thought that they can get all these people
nobody
$10
gives
a month,
shit.
pay for all of this, and then we'll take all the data that we're getting from this and sell that, and someone will think it's worth a lot of money.
Here's the way I think. Do you think if they would have lasted a bit longer if they didn't put a cap on it? Remember when they first opened up, they're like, we can only take so many.
Unlimited, yeah.
No. I mean, they're like, look, we're only going to take so many of you because you can only handle so many.
Okay, but you're thinking about it at the $10 a month level. Before that, they had it upwards of $50 a month for the same setup.
Yeah.
Then they dropped it to 30, they dropped it to 25, and then when they got bought by Heatherson Mathis or something like that, they dropped it down to $9.95 a month, and that's where it blew up everywhere.
Yeah, but remember when that came? It was like Comic-Con.
Yes.
They only had so many tickets because everything kept crashing.
Yeah. So
Do you
now
think if they were ready to have, like, say, if they only could handle 100, they're able to handle 500? Do you think that would have been enough to get him past this?
No.
Not anticipating the original supply and demand.
No, I don't think so. Not at this point. Especially because now they do whole things where the first 2 weeks of a movie that comes out, MoviePass
it's blocked.
stars are blocked. You can't do that. Even after that time period, there's gonna be certain movies where you have to pay an additional fee of like $1 to $5 per movie, even though you've already paid $10 a month for it.
Yeah, because wasn't Mission Impossible the first one where they're like, yeah, not opening weekend?
Yeah, nobody weekend. We can't afford it. Just straight up, we can't afford it. So, I mean, we're gonna see the death of MoviePass in probably the coming months.
Yeah,
The thing
I
is,
honestly think
though,
it'll be dead by the end
a
of the
lot
year.
of the CEOs of all these theater chains who started their own subscription programs
Mhm.
are thanking MoviePass for being that starter, that one that got into the national spotlight to say that, yeah, look,
Tried it first, so we can see
subs-
their failures.
exactly, subscription theater going is a model that can be sustained, just not the MoviePass way.
I remember when this first came out, because our Lauren is one of the few people that actually has it. When it came out, like him and I were both like, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Because him and I were both, or at least myself specifically, there was an old Philip DeFranco episode where he talked about, it's like, look, the easiest way to quit pirating, make the content available and reasonable.
I had the exact same conversation with a lot of my friends years prior in regards to anime watching and piracy about that. Before Crunchyroll,
Nope.
there was just piracy. There was not an affordable way.
It was the fucking Wild West.
Yeah, it was not an affordable way for us to go out there and get a legal stream of everything that we're looking for with English subtitles, with translation that were actually decent.
At best, you had to be friends with a garbage person who was really rich,
Mm-hmm.
or try to ration shit out where you're like, dude, I just recently bought this one. You gonna buy this next one?
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, we can all hang out and watch it.
Or the other options that a lot of people do, including myself at the time, I will admit, piracy. It was fascinating. There was a ton of fan subgroups out there. You were able to go through and get the latest and greatest for free without having to wait the 6 to 8 months at the time to see it legally at that point.
Yeah.
But then once convenience trumped, everything else, when Crunchyroll came out legally, because at first Crunchyroll was a pirate site. At the very beginning, Crunchyroll was a pirate streaming site. They literally grabbed all these pirates, the pirate series that they were sub-series that were out there, and put them all in one place. And then one day they finally got together and thought of a business plan and turned around and became legit. And now they are the powerhouse they are today. And now, as of 4 days ago, they're owned by AT&T.
No.
Yeah, Otter Media had to deal with the Churning Group.
Is that why there was a big deal about it was Netflix, and I think it was Amazon, but I remember Netflix specifically. There was like an article. It's like, hey, enjoy these shows now because they're going away, fucker.
I will go to a tangent for this real quick at that point about zero rating. So ever since the death of net neutrality within the FCC, a lot of companies are trying to find a way to make it worth your while to ditch the competitors and go to their own service. Example, AT&T. Zero rating is the process of taking a service that would normally cost money or cost against your data plan, and basically zeroing it out to make sure that to make it seem like this is a free service for you. AT&T now owns Time Warner, HBO, all that stuff. So they had a whole deal with DirecTV, which they also own. So they do the whole zero rating thing where if you get an AT&T phone, you can then turn around and watch DirecTV stuff, including HBO, without directly affecting your data line. That is zero rating. To a normal consumer, that would be considered, hey, look, this is a great deal. But in reality, this is the death of net neutrality because now anybody else who's, say, on Verizon or T-Mobile or Sprint, now if they want to have DirecTV and watch it on their phones, now they have to pay and have it deduct against their data plan. It provides an unfair advantage to AT&T.
I got AT&T.
Yeah. So what this happens, asshole. What happens
because
with
it's fantastic.
I know. What happens with all this at this point is that if this moves forward the way a lot of people are seeing, people who have AT&T phones will be able to watch Crunchyroll on their phones and VRV, which they also own, which also owns now Rooster Teeth Media.
Because I also have Uverse at home.
You can watch all that on your phone without it affecting your data plan. But it affects everybody else. So it's net neutrality failure at its most prominent.
I'm just throwing it out there. There are two kinds of content I watch on my phone. The occasional YouTube video, which most of that is binging with Babbage when I'm bored at work.
Good times.
Or B porn.
That's fine.
So I'm not really worried about it in the first place.
All right, fair enough.
But
okay, yeah, we should be quick hits, and we went way deep into that. I apologize.
We dived into some other shit.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Microsoft made an announcement during a recent interview that their next generation Xbox console, which they're working on, will focus on xCloud game streaming. This is something that has been in the works in the industry in general for probably about 10 years now. That we wanted to see less purchasing actual physical discs and more going the Steam route, which is buying them online digitally.
The only person I know left who still has an Xbox is Lauren, and he doesn't even pay for games. He has his Xbox Live account, and he just goes, "Oh, this is the free game there this month."
Right, exactly. That's going the next step towards all that.
Yeah.
Remember when the Xbox One first came out, they were initially going to say, "Hey, look, you didn't have to buy physical games. You just buy them from the store, a la Steam." I was on, I forget which show it was at the time, but I was all for that. I am all for that down that path. And Sony took advantage of that, trying to go after everyone in the gaming community. Went, "Hey, look, how do you want to borrow a game from Xbox?
No,
you have to
no,
go. You
no,
have to go
that's unfair. That's unfair.
Let me finish this. So what was going on at the time with Xbox? If you had a friend who wanted to borrow a game that you had to take the disc you had or your game, go over there, log into your account, and let them borrow it through that way. Sony turned around and did a very quick turnaround on this and made a bunch of viral hits on this, saying, "How do you let a friend share a game from PS4?" And it was literally like,
fucking hand him a disc.
Yeah,
it was
it
like
was
two
literally-
Japanese men in business suits going,
yeah, and that was it.
done.
Yeah. And because of that instant public viral backlash,
'Cause here's the
Microsoft did
thing,
a complete 180 on
Here's the
it.
thing, because I got that, I understood why Sony would make that thing,
Uh-huh.
and I understand why Xbox did that, because that was their way of siding with publishers and basically telling GameStop to go fuck themselves.
Well, that's the whole thing is GameStop at this point. So GameStop itself only makes money via used games. The margins on new stuff is so small.
Yeah.
I used to work for GameStop for several years.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we've already gone way up the park. So the fact that Microsoft is like coming out and saying, yes, our next system is to focus on game streaming, this is good. This is a very good thing in my mind. And a lot of people are trying to get down that path anyways. They're playing more and more mobile games. They're playing more stuff on Steam. Even some people are still playing stuff on EA's Origin, but still streaming.
Fuck, that's still a thing?
That's still a thing.
Why? Because they kept forcing it?
Exactly.
Ah, gross.
Yeah, I know. And they'll do the same thing for Battlefront. But moving forward from that part, Sony's been working on this as well. They acquired Gakai, Gakai, I think it was. They had the PlayStation Now, which allows you to stream PS2 and PS3 titles on your PS4. I think that's still actually a thing.
Like, if it's supposed to be like a Netflix of like old school games, I'm down.
It's eliminating. Remember the phrase back catalog?
Yeah.
You had a list of stuff you wanted to play. You never got around to it. Well, if we get to this whole streaming aspect,
Bought an SNES Classic, bought an NES Classic. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
aware of back catalog.
we're totally aware of this back catalog. But I'm talking about not back catalog, but you have personally a list. Like, here's a list of games that I want to play, but I haven't even bought yet, and I will get to it at that point. If you go to a streaming platform version of that self, literally instead of having to, I have to buy this and go through with that, I'm already paying a monthly subscription. It's already on there. I just click a button and now I can play it. And the problem is a lot of games nowadays focus on the here and now. Not just like, here's the latest and greatest. It's like, for example, Fortnite. About 3 weeks to a month ago. I take it you have never played the game. I've played it twice in my life.
Okay.
They did an event that I even followed myself. I was actually working at work. I didn't play the game, but I watched it at the time. They had a one-time event. It wasn't you can try this for only one day. It was literally, you had to be in a game at this day, at this time, to experience this event, and that's it.
Oh, the Thanos thing?
No, it wasn't the Thanos thing. It was after that. It was a preview for their upcoming season, where they do all new stuff. Every season they do new material for the game itself, new weapons, new locations, all that fun stuff. But as a preparation for it, they literally had a rocket launching, go into basically space-time, jump all around the different parts of the map, and then end up with a giant crack in the sky. It only happened once. And the whole thing is it's now event gaming. Kind of like how the TV used to be. Before DVR, it was...
I can see that, though. That's kind of cool.
It was event watching. You
Right.
had to be there at this day,
Yeah.
at this time to make this happen. That is where everything is going now at this point. So the idea of a back catalog...
So you have to make it special.
It's becoming less and less of a thing because you are now going to be spending your time like, do I want to play something I've had on my backlog for 4 or 5 years, or do I want to play this one game that has a cool thing that's going to happen once right now?
I could always watch it on YouTube.
That's basically what I did.
I feel like I'd rather just watch go and play the classics.
But a lot of people who are hardcore gamers are going to choose the former rather than the latter.
I don't consider them hardcore gamers. I consider them garbage teenagers. You know who I know? Because those are the same assholes at work that say things like lit or fire.
They are garbage people. I can't really ignore that.
Don't get me wrong. The homie Frank, rad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of my favorite people I get to see at work.
Mm-hmm.
But he was one of those people. It's like, oh, we played this game.
Yeah.
I hate your generation, Frank.
Yeah. So, but anyways, going back to what we were talking about, streaming stuff is going to be the future, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Physical gaming is going to be a thing of the past. But again, you and I are different because we are of a generation that we enjoy the ability of having a physical object that we can actually grab.
I mean, you more than I do.
Yes.
I mean, because you still follow the otaku mentality, where it's, you know, you have no problem spending $80 for a 12-episode season of something.
Yes.
But you also get the art book behind it. You probably get some cool figurine. You probably get the fucking soundtrack with it too.
Yes.
And you get some fucking wall scroll or whatever the fuck comes with it.
But on the same token, though, there are series out there I'm like, oh, it's on this streaming service? I'll watch that again. That sounds good.
But again, you know that if it's something that you legitimately enjoyed, you have no problem going,
look at my entire life.
Yeah. Take my money.
Yeah.
But
no
thank
kidding.
you for the cool shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And let's be honest, that's a very much Japanese thing.
It really is.
That's
again,
not something that doesn't happen here in the U.S.
But then again, we are nowhere near the Japanese level stuff because those fuckers,
No, I don't doubt that.
Those fuckers will pay $80 to $100 for a Blu-ray.
Look, man,
a
I'm
series
still sad you couldn't find my Kuma apron.
2, maybe
You didn't
3.
find my Kuma Bear apron. You had one job at AX.
Yeah, I know.
A job.
I was in exhibit hall for maybe all 40 minutes. I didn't see it.
Next topic.
Anyways, enough of that. Moving on. Netflix decided to go after Warner Brothers because they had the worldwide rights to Andy Serkis's upcoming Jungle Book movie Mowgli. This would be in theaters. We saw trailers for it. We knew it was going to be out in theaters. It was going to be a straight competition to the Jungle Book. But now it's not going to be in theaters. It's only going to be on Netflix.
Because here's the problem. Netflix is now that girl that's been on a 2-year hunger strike, and she's at the bar at 2 a.m. Bitch is thirsty. Because I can tell you this right now. I actually read a really cool article recently that movie Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes.
That movie, Netflix threw a
shit
ton of money at it, but they turned it down because they're like, no, this movie needs to come out
in theaters.
Just for Asian pride in general. Go fuck yourself, Netflix.
Get them out to theaters.
We're doing this, and that's cool.
It'll be on Netflix eventually.
But you know what I mean? This is proving the fact that Netflix is now. They are so thirsty for original content. They are throwing movie studio money around.
You remember how much they're paying for content for this year alone, right?
Oh, like 3/4 or like at least half of what they're
$6 billion.
But again, they're
billion with the B.
I understand that, motherfucker. But I'm saying their overall budget, though, like they turned around and I think they cut it by like half and went, cool. We're no longer gonna invest in like old content that people want to actually watch, and we're just gonna throw it out to the wind and hope people actually pay attention.
Exactly.
And this being the newest one with fucking Smeagol's movie.
Yeah, no shit. I still want to see this. I still want to see where they're gonna go through with this. But we don't have to pay money to see it. Well, we're already paying for Netflix, so I guess that's a little different at that place. We're already paying for it. But
Jess is technically paying for Netflix.
Jess is paying for
Thank you,
this.
Jess.
So thank you.
Netflix, you pay for it.
She pays for Netflix.
And every time I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I say thank you.
So yeah, seeing this on Netflix.
Sorry, I'll
is
give you a
fun.
full one, Isaac.
We'll still enjoy it, and I think actually we'll get a lot more eyes on this than it would if it was in theaters.
Sadly, yes, because unfortunately, is it easier to spend the $10 per person to go see it in theaters? And that's fucking being generous.
Yeah, it's
or to
very
realize
neat.
I spent $10 a month to watch Netflix and everything else.
Yes.
So, and Andy Serkis aside, yeah, more people are seeing his art, but at the same time, it's a little bit of a slap in the face because people don't want to spend full price.
It really is. Moving on, speaking of movies, the Oscars, the big awards for the movies itself. They're the ones that end the full award show that starts in like January.
They are the award show.
Yeah, you got the Critics' Choice Awards. You have the Hollywood Foreign Press. You have the people.
The foreign press is a fucking joke.
The Golden Globes.
Do you not remember the one time like that got off? It was like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt made some bullshit movie, and it fucking won all the awards for some reason. And that was the only awards that it won, because guess who actually saw that movie? No one but the foreign press.
It wasn't Mr. and Mrs. Smith, was it?
No.
I was like, 'cause I enjoyed that movie.
No, that movie was fantastic. I enjoyed seeing them blow up the old IKEA over off the 60.
It was quite nice.
No, or it was maybe it was Johnny Depp. Someone, but it was literally about like some couple, like whatever.
Point taken. But anyways, so moving forward, Hollywood is always, or the Oscars have always had a problem with trying to get more viewers to tune in to their 3-hour plus event every February. So they released a email to their entire academy, and got released online as well, stating that they're going to make several changes to it. One, they're going to focus on having the award show capped at 3 hours.
I'm cool with that.
So, in order to do so, several less popular awards will be given out during commercial breaks.
I'm fine with that.
I'm like, that's kind of a dick move to those people, but I understand why they want to do that.
What, best makeup?
Yeah, no, I agree.
I'm sorry, who won that last year?
I have no idea.
Do you not remember who actually won that last year,
that's
Jason?
Right, that was. Hang on.
And why can we now say that this movie is an Academy Award-winning film?
Suicide Squad.
So, are we really missing anything?
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Point taken.
Anyways, but the other thing that they were talking about, that has the internet up in a fervor pitch, is the fact that they want to create a new category. It is and let me make sure I have the correct phrase on this. It's
now you're just gonna make me sad.
I am gonna make you sad because this is fucking stupid. LGBT content will be forthcoming. Why I can't find it real quick. That's the presenter stuff. Board of Governors goes to a protest.
So basically, while he tries to find it, I'm just going to tell you.
We'll create a new category for outstanding achievement in popular film. Basically, they want to create an Oscar category for the movies that'll do go gangbusters at the box office, but are not good enough to actually
Those are my thoughts.
garner an Oscar itself. So basically, they don't want to piss off Black Panther.
No, here's the thing. I honestly think Black Panther could win an award on its own merit.
It'll probably win one of the minor awards, like not cinematography, but like technical expertise or makeup or. But
even then, I'd be moderately cool with it.
But the big things like screenplay, actor, director, best movie, whatnot, it doesn't get snubbed.
So it makes it better by creating one for it.
It's better than trying to have another Oscar so white.
Like that still bothered me, but again, that is what
that
it is.
was a whole stupid bullshit itself.
I felt bad. That was one of those situations. I legitimately had to talk to Dom, where I'm like, I'm not racist, but
still,
am I an asshole?
$10. This would be called like the popcorn movie Oscar or something like that.
Oh, it's gonna get nicknamed that fucking so quick.
Some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
This movie made all the money in the world, but we didn't deem it worthy to be even nominated for anything else. So we're gonna give it an award so we don't piss off people, and it'll also try to garner more viewers because they want to say our movie won.
Here's what I would love to see: whatever movie wins this award, immediately goes for Best Picture. It may not win, but it has to at least be nominated for Best Picture now.
Best Picture. So it'd be like, we won an Oscar for Best Popular Movie, but we lost the Best Picture.
Yeah. So at the very end, it's like, do you want to claim this, or do you want to claim that you were nominated for Best Picture? Just to show how big of a fucking joke it is.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
I don't want to. Anyways, yeah, this is the Oscars. Popular Movie Award. You make enough money, and it's gonna become.
Still the cologne that I have and wear.
Let's wrap this up with
Ben Schwartz!
few things. Yes.
Don't you dare! I know you were trying to go to something else.
No. These are the last 3 things we want to talk about before we wrap this up. So, there is an upcoming live-action CG movie,
which we've talked about multiple times,
of Sonic the Hedgehog. We recently talked about how Jim Carrey was cast to play. Well, I can either call him Eggman
say his goddamn
or
name.
Dr.
You say his
Robotnik.
goddamn name.
Dr. Wily. It's basically Dr. Wily.
It's like
Come
you
on.
Want me to bitch slap you?
Eggman, Dr. Robotnik. It doesn't really.
Robotnik.
Yeah. At this point, it's call him A, call him B. Depends on however they want. They haven't confirmed who's going to play at this point. But anyways, same
Wait.
character, different name.
Oh no, they have.
Have they?
He's legitimately listed as like random German name, like an actual name, like not
Okay.
that. Eggman Robotnik.
Oh, they're combining the two.
So his name is legitimately Dr. Robotnik, but as like a pseudonym
nickname,
or
he's
nickname,
Eggman.
he's Eggman.
Jim Carrey is Eggman still. That's gonna be interesting.
Not really. Is
But-
it really that hard to perceive?
Especially because
A giant over-the-top character with just a slight of an accent.
yes, very true. But the difference is that his character is gonna be live action.
Again, as well as James Marsden as the only character they're creating.
Okay.
So we can only assume he probably dies at some point during
okay,
the movie.
fair enough. Fair enough. But the other big news about this, we actually had who's gonna be the voice of Sonic.
Fucking John Ralphio.
Ben Schwartz himself is already signed up for that, and he's already been doing well within the voice acting community. He voiced Dewey Duck in the DuckTales
Well,
reboot.
this is all within the last year, though.
Yeah, Leo in the new Ninja Turtles series. Like,
Which looks god-awful.
Yes, it does. But he went from live action to voice acting, and he's done really well so
Yeah.
far. So this is just another feather in his cap for this
The only
point.
problem I have, it's like every time he opens his mouth, like he's probably going to talk about chili dogs or whatever as Sonic, and I'm just going to see John Ralphio going, pills, baby! And I'm like, oh, god damn it.
If you've never watched Parks and Rec, by all means, please watch it.
Like, Ben Schwartz, I absolutely fucking love. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything that he's done that I didn't enjoy, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
As far as I know, or at least the earliest back that I can remember him, was long before Parks and Rec. He used to do College Humor videos.
Oh shit,
That's right.
Oh,
He played
wow.
Amir's cousin from New Jersey, which he was basically John Ralphio.
Yeah, he really was.
But yeah, the fact that I stopped and think about, it, I'm like, yeah, he's pretty fucking close to what what Jalil White did, fucking Urkel did as Sonic.
Sonic, yeah.
So I think he'd be pretty awesome already.
It'll be fun. We know we're gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see
Yeah.
Sonic.
We may not be sober when we watch it, but we'll watch
Oh
it.
yeah, there will be chili dogs eaten and large quantities of booze. Oh my god.
But the series that
Trying to imagine Sonic moving really fast and being drunk. We're just gonna sit there in the theater going,
gotta go faster, 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 faster.
oh god
Anyways.
damn it. That was my favorite part about playing Sonic in Smash Bros. Just taunting. Like I would kill people. Like my whole thing was letting everybody else kill each other and just going off to the edge of the stage and just taunting.
Oh yeah.
You're too slow. Come on, pick it up. And just taunting. Anytime someone come near me, just start hitting and bouncing off of people and running to the side of the stage.
Notice during this entire episode, I have yet to bring up anything regarding the Nintendo Direct episode that happened this morning regarding all
Yes,
about Smash.
because you didn't add it to the note, so I didn't want to say it.
We'll bring it up real quick then.
Simon Belmont is coming
I
to Smash
figured.
Bros.
Cannot wait. Cannot wait. And of course, we've been drinking tequila for the past hour and a half. I know, Hawaii.
Good, and I'll get tanked on actual tequila going, you fuckers. I can't third wheel it forever. But no, Simon Belmont, King K. Rool have been officially added
Donkey
to
Kong.
Smash Bros.
Good. And R.I.P. Luigi.
Yeah, the weird thing of just Luigi being fucking wrecked.
Yeah, I know, that was hilarious. All right. Second to last thing.
Yeah, second last.
Patrick Stewart is a genius in pretty much everything he has done. If you ever seen his one-man shows, oh god damn it, I just drew a blank on it. Yes, he is in Frasier.
Did they give him a shit wig like they tried to do with Star Trek?
Christmas Carol. He was phenomenal in that, and of course, everybody knows him nowadays as Picard, Jean-Luc Picard from Star Trek: Next Generation. But that ended in 2002 in Star Trek Nemesis. We thought that was the end of it.
Really?
That was the end of Next Generation. It was
Because wasn't
long-
Nemesis the one that actually had Tom Hardy as the bad guy?
It was a long time ago.
No, but seriously, wasn't that one with Tom Hardy?
Yes, it was.
Speak
Yeah,
of the Venom
as the
Devil.
clone. Yeah, basically. But
Full circle.
it was
See what you did there.
announced recently that Patrick Stewart will reprise his role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard in a brand new Star Trek TV series directly for CBS All Access, which is the thing to do nowadays. Let's revive a series, let's revive a character that everybody knows and loves, put it behind a paywall so we'll make money off of it.
Well, yeah, you kind of have to.
So, we have no idea about anything behind the series except that it is Sir Patrick Stewart reprising his role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. We have no idea where this takes place in the timeline. The only thing we do know, aside from that,
That he could still probably play himself. Like, he could probably still do a prequel without any kind of CGI work.
dude, that guy has not aged in like 30 years.
No, my favorite, have you seen the photo where they like, yeah, remember in Star Trek where you were in the holodeck and you got aged 30 years and you look like this? By the way, this is you 30 years later.
Yes, I have.
And they're like, God damn it.
yeah, I know. The guy hasn't aged.
Oh, yeah. No, Patrick Stewart's my favorite, one of my favorite drunk questions. One of my favorite drunk questions is to ask people, if they were to make a movie about your life, who would you want to narrate it?
Sure.
Most people say fucking Morgan Freeman. I'm like, no,
Patrick Stewart.
I would want Patrick Stewart narrating the shit out of that.
That would be so good.
Just because I feel like he could do all, like, comedy and everything, all of the above.
For those of you who are trying to wonder that if this series will be tied in any way, shape, and form to Star Trek Discovery, which is the other series on CBS All Access, the answer is
We can
no.
only hope not. Yes.
It is no. It is a brand new series. It's not tied to that whatsoever.
Unless they both end up successful, and then they'll try to find a way to force it.
But the thing is that we're talking hundreds of years between the two, but that doesn't matter because it's Star Trek. They'll find a way.
Again, have we learned nothing from Dr. Ian Malcolm? Life will find a way.
So. Oh, I cannot wait.
Now that that's done, time to bring back up the thing we talked about last time.
So, you were hyped about this,
Still
rightfully
am.
so. And surprisingly, it's still available for pre-order. It was announced prior to Comic-Con. It was supposed to be a Comic-Con exclusive by Entertainment Earth. And it is still available at this moment. If you remember as a kid, all those classic cereal monsters, name them off, Jordan.
Well, technically, way, way, way back in the day, you had your three classics of Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry.
Yep.
I mean, then eventually they had the bonus ones that got eliminated, Yummy Mummy and Fruit Brute.
I never tried Fruit Brute.
Okay.
It wasn't that good?
Fruit Brute's cherry.
Cherry is a cereal.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It was better than Fruit Brute, which was like orange.
Okay.
Like, Fruit Brute was orange. Yummy Mummy tasted like a 50-50 bar. It was like orange and vanilla.
I'd be fine with that.
It was okay. I tell you, Monster Mash, that was decent. Gave you diabetes.
Totally
Or
did.
at least that's what I'm expecting.
But
Sorry.
why are the reasons...
Monster Mash is what I put when I took all 5 boxes and put them into one giant bowl and poured a gallon of milk and said, let's fucking do this.
But why are we talking about this, Jordan?
Because the Geeky Tikis are back, as they justifiably should. Well, they never really went away.
Yeah.
But their Comic-Con exclusive for the whole thing was the fact that they made a Tiki Mugs. More specifically, Tiki Mugs of the original 3 of Count Chocula, Frankenberry, and Boo Berry.
Yes. You can pre-order the pack, all 3 of them, for $60. It's coming out this month, August 2018. If you can go to entertainmentearth.com and search for cereal monsters, you will find that. Highly recommend, if you even have any sort of inkling of eating these when you were younger, you want to pick them up.
So the quantity, is that for all 3?
The quantity is for all 3. It's a packaged deal. You get all 3 for $60.
So for 120, I can get 3. Done.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you think I'm joking?
120 does not give you 3. 120 gives you 2
Sorry,
of
it gives
each.
me 2. Sorry,
2 of
180
each.
would be 3.
Yes.
Either way, still done.
All right, fair enough.
I have until then.
You guys can go still
I'm gonna eat
pre-order
nothing but
this.
ramen for the next 2 weeks.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But that's going to be it for this episode. We went through a hell of a lot.
We basically recorded an hour and a half, which I'm assuming you'll probably still boil down to an hour due to the tangents.
I may just leave it as is because the tangents are what makes this.
I mean,
what it is.
you do you. I do understand that our tangents often lead to the cutting room floor episodes, which are still my favorite.
They are fun.
Because most of them is me being drunk and singing nonsense.
The title of the series is called Geeks and Drinks.
Again.
And
last episode, I went on a tangent where I sang the Jet Jaga theme song. That's the kind of shit that I expect to see on those quick 5-minute episodes.
Oh, yes. Oh, God, that was good. All right, guys. That's about it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
Cheers, Internet.